Hello, gorgeous. I'm Tammy. This is I Am Inspiring Women. And this week we have another great interview.
Hello, everybody. So we've got Kendall here. Hi, Kendall. Uh, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much. You are so talented, and I'm excited for people to learn more about you and what you do. Uh, that being said, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Thank you for having me. It's good to be on this interview with you for the second time. I am a poet, dancer, and educator, among other things.
I love that. So then for a living, you're a teacher, or do you dance for a living as well and create art, or is it just you're just a you're not, I don't want to say just a teacher because that is an incredible job in itself. There's no just with that. But is that what you do for a living?
They're kind of all, that's a cool question because they're all kind of intertwined. I basically teach everything that I do. So I even have one class that combines the three where I'm teaching the class and it's called Poetry in Movement. So we're
Mhm.
dancing poems and integrating it all. So
That's fantastic. I love that. I knew that you taught the dancing, but I didn't realize you incorporated I love that. So how did you is this something you chose, or it's is something that just kind of fell into your lap? How did you get into being able to do this?
wow. I've been teaching for like 17 years professionally. I'm young, so that's a long time to be teaching. I started at 16 years old. Other high schoolers were flipping burgers, but I went down to a little local music store and I play violin and viola. And I walk in there, I'm all dressed in black. I'm a kind of nerdy homeschooler. and I said, I noticed you don't have a strings program. And I was just wondering if I could begin that here. And here's all these old rock and roll guys, or whatever. And they said, how old are you? 16 years old. And well, we're going to have to call corporate and see if this is allowed. I don't know. Sure enough, I have my resume, everything. And they gave me the job. I taught there all through high school.
That is fantastic. Now that's taking initiative. Those
Yeah.
16-year-olds, like you said, they're busy hanging out or, you know, wanting to mow yards. I know that the kid down the street wants to mow yards, but that's fantastic because that's doing something that you love and also getting paid to do what you love. So you did choose it. Now, did you learn music through school then, through high school?
I was really fortunate actually that I had a sort of rich benefactor, which was just my grandparents. They just wrote them a sweet thank you text today, going, "Wow, like the skiing, golf, tennis, swimming, music lessons, trips to Hawaii, and things." My parents are educators and artists. They would never have been able to give us those opportunities. So, a lot of my training came through private lessons with them. And then eventually I got a college scholarship, a full ride, to play my viola and sing. And I majored in music in school for my undergrad.
I love that. So what did it take for you to get to where you are now? You said you went through college. I mean, did you your grandparents helped you out with that? What kind of ups and downs and did you have any trouble or, criticisms or anything like that? Or did you had to deal with, or did you have a fairly easy way of going about it? Because you seem to me to be very confident. Is that something that is
Yeah,
has been a part of your life?
it has. And it's, I was thinking about, thinking about struggles, whatever. And I'm sure there were obstacles. So I don't know how much of it is a mindset thing where it's like you're excited about the adventure. I have this weird like survivor thing where like I love scenarios where it's like the end of the world. I don't know if I'd really like it, but I like fantasizing about like, okay, I've got to like feed my kids and like I've only got these cans and we've got to like plant food. And I grew up in the mountains with my five siblings, my mom, and often there were blizzards and we had to like melt snow. And I don't know, I just this idea of like we can do it and it's exciting to like navigate challenges. Um, so as to what those actually were, I can't recall, but yeah, I so and then your other question of what did it take to get here? here it took, at least teaching at a college, it took a master's degree for that literal job. But I'm now on my fifth career. So you could get there in like 2 or 3 years or whatever. But, just among the things, being a stunt performer, a pirate show in the Caribbean, and a clown, and teaching, ballet. I mean, just a variety of different things. So it's
But
fun.
that's I actually and I didn't know that about you, but that's actually something that's very interesting because we're moving away from the mentality that you have to have one career your entire lifetime. Now, I grew up and you go to school, you get good grades, you get a job, and even with me, you stayed at that job forever, even though as far as our age is concerned, that's even not feasible. That's my parents, they had that ideal, that industrial age ideal. We don't have that. And I love that you've had more than one career and are so okay with it, because so many people are stuck with, no, you've got to do this one thing. You have to have one passion.
Hmm.
So how did you find that was, that you received any flack for changing careers, or is it something that just, you just did and that's what made you happy? So you just continue to do it?
Yeah, again, my family really has been very supportive and always believed in me. I will say, like, they got used to me being, I was a professional actress and I always did musicals and all this. And so they definitely got used to like me being in a different show every month to 3 months. And so there was a little bit of disappointment that I wouldn't be showing that to the world and offering that. But I just kind of shifted and took a break from performing and said, my writing, I've never really, that's always been on the back burner. I've never had a chance to pursue that. And I like to prove things. I don't know if it's to myself or to others, or I just like to explore things and go like, I can do that. And it's fun that a lot of these careers have been, a professional singer, things that people go, get a life, get a backup plan, get real. Professional singer, now a published poet, professional model, professional actress, making money at all these things you shouldn't be able to succeed at. So I think that's fun to just prove that to the world, I guess.
And I love that you put it like that. Making money at all of these things that you shouldn't be able to make money at. Obviously, you're proving that wrong. And I really admire that in you, because there are so many people who are out there who think, "Oh, I'm a starving artist. I'm not going to be able to succeed." Now, understanding that there are different levels of success, and that you need to be comfortable and decide what level of success is comfortable for you. So how long did it take for you to feel that you were successful?
That's a fun question. I think a lot of it has to do. Well, first, I want to say, um, with this whole starving artist thing, I think that a lot of artists almost like idealize that. Like, I'm not a real artist unless I'm like eating out of a can, right? And
Right.
and even I would say a lot of, and I can speak to the field of poetry, but it's probably true across genres. But um, it's like, if I'm not in mental turmoil, if I'm not suffering even, like, and this comes down to like mental health, where I guess some of us maybe don't even take care of ourselves because we're looking for something to work with.
Mhm.
And for me, I have my own mental health struggles with bipolar and depression, and, like a lot of artists. And for me, it's like I use that emotion for sure. Like, I want to turn that to good. I want to turn that to something that's going to inspire, encourage others, support others, express myself, so it helps me in the doing of it. But that's what it does, is it helps me in the doing of it. It doesn't, I'm not trying to create stuff that's going to further hurt me. So
To further emphasize that you have that difficulty, you're using that difficulty to enhance your life and the life of those around you through your creativity. So
yeah.
that's an interesting and it's a fantastic twist on the, starving, tortured artist. You can take that and use it as a positive, and in doing so, be successful. So what is it? I mean, like you were gonna finish, how long did it take for you to feel successful? I mean, was it a process or was it like, overnight, I'm like, "Oh my god, all of a sudden I have I have what I was looking for," or what did it take?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So your identity isn't in being a suffering artist or whatever, right? Yeah. So I guess I felt successful on day one. I don't know. I just because I was doing it, because I was in the process, rather than being I've arrived. Which when is that? And that never is.
No.
You've arrived when you've begun. I mean, you're now work. You're if you're a writer. Did you sit down and write today? Or just my identity is a writer. My identity is an artist, and it's just who I am. So I'm always being who I am. I mean, you know, maybe not. I'm always doing it.
No, no, but I understand that, and that's exactly what I want to be expressed, and that's exactly why picking you, I knew would be perfect for this because you have that in you, and I know that that is something that, you know, you say you suffer with bipolar and depression, so you've not allowed that to overtake your life and have allowed that to be a part of the process of you being successful in the work that you do. Am I correct in understanding that?
Totally. Yeah.
Perfect. And that's I think what needs to be expressed across the board with all genres of artistic creativity, regardless of whether you're a painter, an artist, a musician, a writer, or whatever it may be. You don't have to be that tortured artist. You can use that in the process and being successful in that process. Some people I know have a problem with um, letting go of that. And I
Mm.
think that using that process to let go of that is helpful.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of starting my own like mental health journey. So I'm still kind of navigating like, but if I'm not manic, like how am I going to produce all these poems? Like I don't take it away. Like balance is almost a scary word for me because the extremes to some level, I don't want to say they've served me because I that's the fear or the thought, but but the emotional expression and all of the positives, that's who I am, and I'm not gonna lose that, right? But then it's the negative aspects where you feel so much that you're taking it out on your spouse or those kind of things, we can get rid of those.
Speaking of your spouse, how supportive is he? I mean, does he seems to me very supportive, so that's obviously very helpful. Supportive family, I mean, do you get that? And how are they supportive?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, my spouse is great. Michael, he's an architectural acoustician, and I'm extremely supportive of him. In fact, and then the other day I was talking about getting a PhD, and the nearest program that I like is in LA. We live in San Francisco. And we just talked about like, what if I just lived in LA and you lived in San Francisco? And we're very close and we have a great relationship. But I'm like, what if I commute and we see each other on the weekends? Like, and I was like afraid to say that. And he's like, well, babe, like that would be a sacrifice for sure. Like, obviously I want to be with you all the time, um, but if it's really important to you, like, yeah, like whatever, let's do it. Like, so just on anything, he's very supportive.
I love that. So, so you just said you wanted to go for a PhD. What other goals do you have in mind for yourself?
Yeah. So I have kind of two trajectories, I guess, that are out before me now. And it's the kind of the classic trajectories for women, I guess, which is like, and they can be, and some people they're intertwined and they may be for me too. But one would be like career, which I want to get my PhD in creative writing so that I can, right now I'm teaching academic writing, which really isn't my passion. Like I really don't care about grammar and MLA format. Like but I do feel good about it because I'm helping the students. Let's get through this the most fun, easy way. Let's teach you this communication skills. Um, so yeah, I'm going to get my PhD. I'd like to be a professor. And then on the family front, oh, and then just do whatever else I feel like doing in the moment, right? On the family front, I would like to have kids, whether those are biological or adopted or probably combination, hopefully. I want to have a house. Like home is really important to me, so I want to have a home that's, um, like beautiful, like whether it be my husband's an architect guy, so whether it's like we design the thing and it doesn't need to be big, but it needs to be personalized to us, like creating those interior moments or an outdoor meditation pond of koi fish or just something where we can just live this incredible, abundant life. And then the kids just wild, like all have long hair, boys and girls. Maybe it's like androgynous clothing. They're just kids running around and they're and like so much art. Mama's always singing and playing the piano, sing alongs, like just you can just see it, right? Homeschooling, but connected to the community, like going out, like poetry groups, like being a contribution, just that balance of like personal life and public life. Um, and so yeah, so I have dreams for that. And we're kind of in that period where we're like, where are we going right now? But yeah, it's an exciting time.
I love that. So do you write your goals down?
I don't as much write them down. I do talk about them a lot. And I guess I do write them down like on Facebook or in notes to friends or things like that. But yeah, they're kind of constantly like going through my head and out of my mouth.
Do you have a vision board?
Not a vision board per se, but I like to do collage. So I've had whole walls of collage, but right now my refrigerator, like I have little creative magnets and just things that inspire me. And so like right now I have a Walt Whitman quote from Leaves of Grass that says, "Your very flesh shall be a poem," which kind of combines my movement and my poetry. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And so what do you do for personal development, for growth?
Mm. So I try to think about like the different quadrants where you have like your, and actually, if you can see my tattoo, you've
Mhm.
got that balance of mind, spirit, and body.
Yeah.
So, okay, what am I doing for my mind? I'm an academic, I'm an intellectual. Am I learning? Am I growing? I was when I was in school, and then my mind just rotted away. So what am I doing? Am I having these interesting conversations with fellow artists? Am I reading a good book? Am I reading poetry? What am I doing? And then you could go into like mental health as well. Am I meditating? And there's crossovers, right? Like this gets into body too. Yoga, taking hot baths, getting in nature is really important. Being near water, being around people that love, like, accept and celebrate my identity. Animals are amazing. Petting animals. I've got a little creepy cross
Oh,
critter right
love
there.
it.
So just being conscious of the things that bring me happiness. And of course, happiness is temporary. So I keep it coming. I know, where are my fresh flowers? Where are the fragrances that uplift me? Just and then giving to other people. Brightening other people's days, visiting a retirement home, playing with kids. Like there's so much. So I guess in a simple answer, just being conscious of mind, spirit, body, in those quadrants, and what do I need to do to make sure my tanks are full.
And that sounds like you're incorporating a lot of things that the next question, what do you do for fun? You're incorporating a lot of that into your daily life, and so that it sounds like I love how you said that, keeping that tank full. Finding those small things like the smell of fresh flowers, that that's something that lifts your spirits, and so that you keep that a part of your life and don't let it go by the wayside and forget about those things that do bring you bliss, little
Yeah.
moments of bliss throughout the day that help you make you happy, keep you hot up. I love that. So,
Yeah.
do you have other women who inspire you?
I do. It's really important. It's funny because I know, you and I aren't the same age, and that is something that's really important to me. Like in upstate New York, we just moved from there. Most of my female friends were in their 60s, and they were like all poets, and there was something really special because, and I guess in a way, it's like our relationship that you know they've lived more life, and there's something where it's like, oh, how did you do it? How did you, like, there's a lot of story there, and that's really exciting for me. But it's important to me too that they're not relationships where it's like there's mentorship's awesome, but that's a specific thing.
Mhm.
But friendship is we're both equals. We both have much to contribute. And so I've just been really blessed with friends that are older, but they totally are like, oh wow, like they're learning from, I guess in this conversation it demonstrates that, but it's kind of like, what, oh, like there's some insight there, and like we're both just giving to each other, and it's like this symbiotic, really beautiful thing that's so much more enhanced by the differences.
And so as far as specific women that inspire you, they're just people that are all around you that you connect with. And I definitely see that with you. You have that kind of personality that makes it very easy to connect, and you're very open. So that makes a big difference. So I love that. So I've got a couple extra questions that I didn't put on there specifically because I wanted to throw a loop at you. So first off, what's your favorite book?
Mm. I love the book Simple Abundance by Sarah Bon Breathnach. You've heard of that?
Yes, it's a great book.
Oh, and her writing, like, so when I talk about my future home, um, just that warmth of like each season, there's little flowers, and we do this and these traditions, and it's just such a beautiful, and it's kind of got that like 90s Laura Ashley like feel to
Yes.
it, but I love like movies from that era. I don't know, I'm weird, but I'm very inspired by different time periods. So I also I'm not a huge reader, which is weird. But I like that there's little nuggets, and that's kind of how I like to read. Like, give me a haiku, give me a like a little piece to just meditate on. So I really appreciate that.
And think about this one little, and you can open that book anywhere and get something that's just a small little simple abundant thing that makes it great and perfect.
Totally.
So what kind of legacy would you like to leave?
Hmm. I mean, the things like my students and my children and just like all the people that have impacted, but I hope that, people that interact with me, that they can at least be a little bit more full of who they are, like a little more authentic, a little more um maybe bigger. Like, I know not everyone's big, but that more of who they are would come to the forefront. Um And then I think, about the word freedom, that's really important to me. And just like being free to be who you are, express yourself, like all of those themes. And then the other word that's important would be peace. And just, I'm very like, I hope this isn't too political, but I'm very like pro life. And I mean by that, like, yes, like unborn babies, but also like I'm vegan and like I care about every animal, like just people having the right to like live and exist in a peaceful existence, and peace, I'm against like violence against women, or, in any way you could look at that, like just protecting the innocent and those who can't stand up for themselves. So, I think my new tattoo is going to be right here, and it's going to be peace on earth. And I've already got my little hand signal
Yeah,
ready.
like got my signal. What do you call street sign? Street sign for peace. That's what we need more of. Absolutely. So, okay, so a couple more questions. Oh, actually, three more questions. So, as far as other women, what would you like other women out there to know?
Hmm. You can do it. um Take time for you, and just being is enough. Just, enjoying like whatever brings you joy, whatever brings you bliss, the hot bath or the, the candle, or like you're worth it. So sometimes we just bring out the fine china for like our guests. Like, you eat off of that, you get your goblet out, like you're a queen, celebrate yourself. There's the difference between pride and confidence. And sometimes we think, oh, I'm prideful, like I don't want to appear vanity, so we hide ourselves. And that's not a way to live. Like, when we're confident and we shine and we show up, we're doing so much good for others. Like, we're empowering them, we're lifting them up, we're bringing them out. That it's not like making them small. And then I would say, back to kind of the concept of success, I've taken, and I encourage you to do the same, I've taken the word failure out of my vocabulary. So it doesn't exist. It's not possible. Every time you show up, you succeed. You tried. You efforted towards it. You're moving in the right direction. Like, it's not possible because fail is such this black and white, that corrupt extreme thinking, right? Um, and there's always going to be little imperfections. That's part of the whole process. That's and accept that. And I've also on that note, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I go now where I'll leave a little mistake in it. Because again, the beauty is in those cracks.
Absolutely. I love that. Specifically leaving a mistake. I like that because and I do appreciate the taking the failure out of your vocabulary because I've actually recently done that because it's been such a big thing for me lately. And now on that note, what kind of a message would you like to leave for the young ladies and the girls that are out there? Same, similar, or something completely different?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, same, similar. Like if you guys start now, like learning these things and go easy on yourself and take a break because you're gonna get further just gently. you know, you're moving, you're enjoying your life because if you're not enjoying your life, where are you going? Yay, I finally got 50, 60, 80, whatever. I got my yacht. Are you even enjoying that? So start now to enjoy what you have right now. What can you? There's much we can't control in the world, unfortunately. But what can you control? You can control yourself. You can take care of yourself. You can get your body in movement, whether that's a walk in fresh air or dance. Like the body and moving it helps your mental health. They're all connected, and you just feel. Eat your good vibrant greens. Maybe you want to juice or do smoothies. Just start to enjoy these things and turn them into like hobbies. And explore new things. Take risks. The world is your oyster. You guys are pearls, and you've got this.
Love it. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
Mm.
what is one question that I didn't ask you that I should have?
Hmm. Well, first on the word should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
That I maybe probably should have or could have or would have.
I've taken that one out of my vocabulary too because it seems to imply like a moral obligation,
Yeah.
and I'm like, more, but could possibility.
Could have.
I like animals, so a fun question could be like, "What's your spirit animal?" or "What's one of your favorite animals and why?" or something along those lines.
Okay. So then what's your spirit animal?
Well, I'm really obsessed with unicorns right now.
I was
Uh,
just gonna say unicorn.
but I resonate with a lot of animals. Swans. I guess because I did ballet, I just really feel like a swan, and also like lions. I'm a Leo. I'm Year of the Tiger. There's a lot of like feline energy. Um, and right now, my current obsession is turkeys. I actually got to see a field of wild turkeys yesterday. I was just on my walk, and there were wild right next to me, these turkeys. And they were just like little gentlemen. They were walking around and they were foraging, and this little Asian girl saw him too, and she's like, "Doggy, doggy."
In
So
San Francisco, like in town?
I
Interesting.
live in Berkeley, so there's like little suburbs, but it's not as city.
Yeah.
It's just a little field of grass though, and they were there, and it was incredible.
That's funny. That's awesome. I love that. Out in the middle of I don't last time I think I saw a turkey was, like, in the forest, like,
Mhm.
in woods. I think that was the only place I'd ever seen one. They're a heck of a lot bigger than I thought they were. That's for sure. Wild turkeys are pretty big.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kendall. I had to try really hard not to cry a couple times because
Oh.
I know you just have such an amazingly beautiful soul. I know this, and I'm glad that it was able to come through on this interview with you. Thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate you so much. And I know that this will impact a lot of people, a lot of artists, and a lot of women who need to hear that doing what they want to do in their life is absolutely possible. And I really appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to say to you too that, and for the listeners, this kind of started the way that we met was through Tammy's Periscope, her showing up and doing and in the world and using her gifts. So by you doing your art and your speaking and all your messaging, And I was just a viewer. I was just on there, yay, yay, probably writing a ton of comments. And just whenever she was on, I was just really encouraged by her spirit. So just to acknowledge you, that's kind of how this began.
I know, I appreciate that, and thank you very much, Kendall. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and would love to have you back again. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button from wherever you're listening to this. Thank you for all the support because I'm here to lift you up, inspire, and encourage you. Have a spectacular day. Until next time, continue to be the light in the world and don't forget, live life adventurously.